Hi friends, we're expecting the Caustic Town Takeover next week when the Chaos Theory Collection event launches. In the build up to this, there have been a bunch of teasers or Easter eggs hidden around the map on Kings Canyon. I thought I'd pull together this video where you get to see all of those teasers in one place, and I'll even tell you where you can find them so you can go and look for yourself. We'll also have a bit of a discussion around what these teasers mean for the Caustic Town Takeover coming next week. So there are 4 main teasers in the game. Let's look at the first teaser because it's a caustic voice message that's found in Crash Site. You can find it yourself if you come through the back of Artillery. You'll see this area of the map kind of just before you get to the main buildings in the middle. There's a raised platform if you jump over it. By the pillar, you'll see a little box with a phone on it. All you have to do is press your action button on this phone and this message will play. Here's what it says.
The erupted gas pocket and fuel have combined to create a gargantuan supply of toxin. If there's a way to refine it, I could mold it into something spectacular.
So that's the first teaser. The second teaser is another message from Caustic in a similar way but in a different location. If you want to find this one, it's in the small buildings near containment. Where the explosive hold is, there's a building to the left of it, and if you look on the table inside that building, you should see a phone on the table. Again, if you press your action button on it, this is a message that will play.
The best way to test this would be human subjects. Luckily, there's an ample supply of lab rats right here. The best way to test this would be human subjects. Luckily, there's an ample supply of lab rats right here.
So that's the second teaser. For the third teaser, it's a final voice message from Caustic, which you can find near water treatment. It's in the buildings beneath Watchtower. As you're moving away from water treatment, if you go to the unit, where there's 2 little buildings connected rather than 3, you'll find the phone on the table, and here's exactly what it says.
The water treatment facility will not purify this toxic spill. If I could convince them that I could handle it, well, that would open some real possibilities.
So that's the third teaser and it's a voice message. The final teaser, as I mentioned, there are 4. The final teaser is located in water treatment and it's simply a bunch of signs that says under new management, which I think by now we know Caustic's Town Takeover is coming to water treatment, and this essentially confirms it. So these are the 4 teasers / Easter eggs that have been released on the map. But what do these mean? Well, let me give you some background to why this is relevant and why Caustic's Town Takeover fits in with the lore. You see, when Season 8 launched, we saw Fuse arrive on a ceremony ship, but as that ship crashed down and destroyed parts of Kings Canyon, it also leaked a bunch of fuel into the water supply across Kings Canyon. And that contaminated the water with toxic waste. Of course, as we know, Caustic is a master of toxic gases. So it seems this town takeover ties in with Caustic's love of toxic gases and Fuse causing a fuel leak into the water supply. We're not sure exactly what the town takeover will look like, but it seems like Caustic will set up some kind of purification center that will harness the toxicity from the water and possibly use it to create some kind of deadly experiment. In line with this, I guess we might see a toxic gas room or some kind of interactive gas elements inside the Caustic Town Takeover. And if you listen closely in the voice lines, you'll hear him talk about actually harnessing the toxicity in the water and even using humans as experiments. I believe he calls them lab rats. Now it's hard to believe any kind of toxic gas element in the Town Takeover would deal damage because that would be way too overpowered, but I'm sure there will be a point of interest where we as players can interact with in some way. And I say that because if you think about it, all of the town takeovers so far, for example Octane's Gauntlet with jump pads or Labs with Wraith Portal, all have elements of the legend that they represent in the town takeover. So I don't see why Caustic's Town Takeover wouldn't include some kind of toxic gas element. And I do think we might see some areas where experiments are taking place. As I mentioned, Caustic wanted to use humans as lab rats, so I'm sure we might get some weird experiments that we'll get to see, but it definitely sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun and bring a whole new look to water treatment, which, don't forget, is one of the very few remaining original areas on the Kings Canyon map. And while it'll be sad to see it go, the town takeover could be a lot of fun. Don't worry, I'll do a first look at Caustic's Town Takeover when it gets released next week. Don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button, come join our community of friends. For now though, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.